Welcome to today's video, and we are at the shop, and I actually came here to do some work on the Skyline, see if I can get it running again. But I made a really gross, disgusting discovery, and let me show you. So I know summers in Japan are super humid, and mold is kind of like an issue, but nothing went wrong with this car and the JZX90 that was there. But this thing, everywhere. There is mold all through the entire car. I've never seen anything like this. What's really actually interesting is I found there's a lot of mold in places that I've spilt coffee before. So yeah, it's pretty much anywhere where I've spilt coffee or anything like that, it's molded. Back seat seems to be fine. I don't see any mold there. Just the two front seats, like wherever like I've touched and stuff, I guess just has mold on it. Like this is disgusting. And just, anyways. So, cue montage of Sam cleaning the Skyline, and then maybe we'll get the engine bay back together and this thing running today. But I don't get it, man. Like, I know Japan's humid. Like I even cracked the window and stuff so that a little bit of air was coming in and out of this, but it's still molded up. So, yeah. So I did a bunch of research, and it seems like the best way for dealing with mold and cleaning it up is diluting some isopropyl alcohol and water together. I've got myself my little extractor here as well, and what I've done is pretty much just mix this with isopropyl alcohol and some water. So that's all ready to go. I'm going to start just extracting all the seats. What I'm going to do is clean up as much of the mold as I can first and extract it all, and then I'm going to probably take these two front seats out, and then I can get in and get under the seats as well, because it looks like it has gone up and under, and I just don't want to leave any more mold in here. Another thing that you need to be careful of is wearing a mask. Mold can make you very, very sick, so make sure you're wearing a mask. Now, this is the only mask I could find, because obviously I've got it because of the pandemic, but you should have a much better mask, something like you would use in a paint booth, but this is all I got. I've got two, so I'm going to put a second one on and just double down and hope that that helps. But yeah, I want to try and get this cleaned as much as possible, because the longer you leave this, the worse it's going to get. So it's time for a haul. Let's see, oh God, that looks disgusting. This is what we extracted, and we still obviously got a lot more to clean inside the car. We gotta take the seats out, but the majority of it is all gone now. So this is gonna most likely be gross. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Oh, that is rank. Straight down the drain. Yuck. Look at all the mold. It's all like clumped up. That's disgusting. Okay, I'm gonna clean this out, and then we'll get back to it. Pulled the passenger seat out so I could get to the side of it. You can see there's some mold and stuff growing on the sides here, so glad I did that. But as I took this out, the carpet under the seat is so much worse. Like, this is just disgusting. Look at this. All of that. Lift that up. Just mold pretty much everywhere. Everything under the mat seems to be okay. Just like anywhere around where it wasn't covered, mold got to it. So kind of odd. I got some more isopropyl alcohol and water in here, so I can spray like directly on the mold too. And that'll just help us get it a little bit more like, I guess, dealt with, so that the alcohol is actually getting in there and killing it. So I'm just going to keep spraying over all of this, go over it with the extractor and get it all cleaned, and then I checked under this seat and on the sides of this seat. There's no like material on the sides of this. Like you can get to everything. It's all fiberglass and it's all fine. Underneath it's fine, so I don't have to take out the driver's side. But there's definitely places on the dash and stuff where some mold's growing, so gonna definitely hit that with a microfiber and the alcohol spray too. Just get all of it dealt with. If you guys have any more advice or tips in the comment section, if you've dealt with mold or do you do this for a profession, please let me know. Like, everything I found online is everyone was just saying like there's not much you can do and you just got to use like alcohol. So, ooh, stay there. Sit something. Just get that all in there. Even though this is a crappy situation, this is still the most satisfying thing ever. Spray some stuff down and hit, look at this. Look at all that coming out of the carpet. So good. All right, I'm gonna keep doing my thing. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I have this for when I spill coffee now. Just clean it up right away. I'd say definitely the coffee spills in this car. Like you guys know, we spilled a lot of coffee in this car in the time that we had it. So you know that definitely wouldn't have helped. All right, I'm gonna keep cleaning. Hopefully we'll have this done soon, and then we can get to the engine bay and kind of get things back together. So I've just been going through cleaning the entire dash and everything and making sure there's no mold left anywhere. And I just noticed that there's even mold growing inside the cup holder. So look at that. It's crazy. It's gotten in the most bizarre places, but also like it's kind of, I swear it's grown on places where like coffee spilled. Like they look like little droplets everywhere, and how it was like all over here. There's even a bit of coffee that I splashed up on my head unit that had mold growing on it too, that I'd cleaned up. So it's just kind of weird. Like, I don't know, maybe it's not like normal mold, but I don't know. It was definitely kind of gross. But I'm just going through spraying the diluted alcohol solution everywhere and just making sure that everything is getting cleaned and wiped down. Man, I cannot wait till we get to start rebuilding this entire car. It's going to be so sick. It's getting me so hyped just spending a bit of time working on this thing at the moment, cleaning her up. But I went over the entire rear seat. I went over everything, the rear parcel shelf. No mold on the roof or anything like that, so I was super lucky there. But just making sure that this stuff isn't going to grow back and hitting everything I can. So that's going to really, really suck if it comes back again. And I did a bit more research in Japan. Some people, when they're storing cars, especially in humid summers, is they put those like dehumidifier things in their cars. So it's like this little big box thing that you buy that has a bunch of silica beads and stuff in it, and what it does, it absorbs all the moisture out of the air inside your car. So I'm going to do that next summer, make sure that all my cars that are sitting and not really moving too much all have one of those in there. It's like $10 for a pack of 4, so I think it's a good investment, and we shouldn't have that issue because it just comes down to moisture and how humid it is here in Japan. Like, you got to be on this. Like, your closets at home have to have those things in them as well, so your clothes don't mold during summer. It's actually a huge deal if you didn't know. But we're looking much better in here. Skyline's definitely looking clean and nice. I'm almost done, and I think the next clip you guys will be seeing is me going through and starting to put the engine bay back together. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really enjoying going through this because I've just been cleaning out all this rubbish and stuff in here that I never did when I parked it. So look at all this stuff can go in the trash. So now that everything is clean inside and we've got no mold anywhere, I'm actually really happy. I thought it was gonna take a lot longer than it actually did. I'm stoked. Yeah, definitely something I was not prepared for or even thought would happen. But it makes sense at the same time because of how humid it is here. Anyways, time to get back into getting this thing running. So, as you guys know, there's an issue with it. It burns a lot of oils. It's either ringlands or valve stem seals or a blown turbo. It's a combination of a bunch of things. Everything kind of is pointing to the turbo being at fault. But obviously I also know that the engine has had some weird compression issues and stuff like that. So I'm also thinking there's like a cracked ringland or valves, something's up there. So anyways, regardless, this thing is getting a full engine rebuild very, very soon. But for the time being, I still want to be able to move it around, especially if I get lifts in here soon, which I'm hoping to. I want to be able to, when we do start the build, obviously drive this thing and put it in the lift so that then we can pull the engine and start working on it. But for now, I need to get this thing back together, and we left this thing in an absolute mess after doing a whole bunch of diagnosis stuff with May. I'm hoping all the bolts and stuff are around here somewhere, but majority of it is just a whole bunch of piping and hose clamps and things like that. Putting it back together shouldn't be too hard. Just going to take a bit of time. So set you guys up on a time lapse. Let's get this thing together, and hopefully we'll hear this thing roll back to life. I now have everything back together. Let's find out if this thing's gonna start. It's definitely been sitting for a long time, but the good old reliable RB that she is, tap on wood, she should start. Ooh, fuel pressure, fuel pump. I hear that. That was an interesting start. That was like instant. No misfires, no nothing. God, I miss this thing. I miss this thing so much. We have to bring her back, guys. We gotta. Clean out her pipes a little bit. Man. I swear to God, if I start pulling this thing down and find that it's just like a blown head gasket or valve stem seals or something simple like that, I'll just fix it and put it back together. I just loved how reliable this thing was. Like 3 to 4 years of non-stop bashing on this thing before it started consuming a lot of oil. Sounds so good. Got the bumper zip tied back on. Thing is looking mint. Well, I guess the best it can look, all things considered. So that's that for now. Skyline's back together. It runs. Am I going to drive it a bunch? No, because it's sick and needs an engine. But at least we can now put it around and move it. I might take it for a rip next time we're here, but just the weather's not too good right now. It's been raining and a whole bunch of stuff. Plus, I think it's super important we let the car dry out. I've got the 2 windows down. We'll let it sit for a couple of days and kind of air out, and I'll come back and check on it. I may even get a dehumidifier and sit it in there and come back and let that sit in there for a few days, just running, pulling all the moisture out of everything inside the car. But for now, she's back together. She sounds good-ish. And hopefully she'll be alive soon. Keep an eye out on the channel because we've got a really cool build plan for this thing. Overall, I feel pretty happy about today. Hearing the Skyline start up again, definitely goals. Time to head home though, because wifey's making dinner and you want to make sure you're back on time. Happy wife, happy life. All the married guys out there will understand. Shout out to you guys. Oh, if I can get this key to go in right. There we go. Should be good to go. Let's head home. Back home now, and I just spent a bunch more time doing some more researching on the rig, and it seems like even though alcohol is a good way of killing and getting rid of the mold and cleaning it, it seems that distilled white vinegar is the best method, just because that'll actually also kill the spores. So the alcohol will kill and get rid of the mold, but it can leave those little spores there that can, once the environment's right again, it can mean that the mold will come back. So I'm gonna go back over it with a bottle bottle of distilled white vinegar, and I'm going to go through and just spray that through the whole car and extract it once more time, just to be on that safe side, because I don't want that stuff coming back. And obviously I definitely don't want to get sick or anything like that because of it. So that aside, I actually have a very, very big and important announcement. This Friday at 4 p.m. EST, we have a new merch drop, and this is the biggest and best merch drop that we have ever done. And I know I say this every single time, but it really does keep getting better, and wait till you see these designs. So we have a total of 3 new designs coming with 4, well, actually it's more like 4 designs with 5 pieces of clothing, if that makes sense. But let me show you some of them. So the first one I want to show you here is this hoodie, which is called Build the Dream. And I want to explain this graphic in a little bit, but this will also be available in a shirt option. But this manga piece here kind of shows, you know, the car apart. You've got no engine in the bay there. The engine's out the front here, and then the engine's in the bay and the guy's working on it, and he's focusing on the dream, right? This is the dream here. You can see the think bubbles coming up, and the S15's drifting. You got the cool Japanese there making the drift sounds like like the thing on gate and stuff like that. But I wanted to make something that every car guy can relate to, and that is just when you're working on a project car, how easy it is to get unmotivated, to get discouraged or upset about how things are progressing and stuff, and not wanting to work on your car. And this is something that I really encourage you guys all the time throughout my builds, is focus on the dream. Like, this is where you want the car to be, this thing here. So focus on that and let that motivate you to finish your build. So that's why I made that, guys, and I really hope you enjoy it. I spent a lot of time and effort with my designer guy to get this to come out the way it did, and I am really happy with it. So I hope you guys like it. So this will be a hoodie and a shirt. Now I have another hoodie to show you, which is the SR hoodie, and this thing is sick. So we did the sleeves as well. You've got SR20 DET down the side here, and obviously we went with a nice pink color here. And then we've got this side of the sleeve as well, which is flipped and reversed. So really cool graphic. And then you got the SR20 here, which is obviously based off my engine. You got the nice Garrett turbo there and stuff like that. And some of you may be keen and notice like that this is the very similar pattern to the HKS one, and that is because obviously we have HKS internals in this engine. But just a really good solid SR20 shirt for all you guys out there that know SR20 is the answer to everything. This will be a shirt option too, but you're not going to get these cool sleeves and stuff like that. So moving on to the next design, which is a shirt we're bringing out called the KTR. If you guys know, that's what I call the K-Van, and on the back, it's probably one of my favorite graphics ever, and that is the KTR with the TE37s and the KTR logo. How sick does that look, guys? Isn't that awesome? Yeah, KTR is going to look like this real soon. But anyways, thought you guys would like that. So these are all dropping this Friday at 4 p.m. EST. In a few days, the website SAMMIT.net will be updating with a countdown timer, so you guys will be able to check on the homepage when all this stuff is dropping your time and set your alerts and your reminders. But 4 p.m. EST, Friday USA time, is when things will go live. I am expecting bunch of stuff to sell out very, very quickly, so don't sleep and make sure you act fast. I really hope you guys are as excited as I am about this new drop. It is seriously the best merch we have ever done, and I'm way too excited to see you guys enjoying it, tagging me on pictures and stuff on Instagram wearing the new drip. Like, it seriously, I cannot say how much I love these designs. A lot of time and effort went into them, and I'm already working on some new ones and stuff like that for the future drop in a month's time, but I hope you all get some. That aside, another really big thing is I'm bringing 4XLs into the sizing categories, just because like a lot of you guys, like big guys, were emailing me and saying, hey, bring out some bigger sizes for us and stuff. So I listened, and we've got a small batch of 4XL coming out. So 4XL, that's pretty much close to like the USA 4XL. All the sizing charts though are on all the product pages on the website. So just make sure you measure yourself and check those sizing charts, and then you'll know what size you need. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Smash that like button, write us a comment, and subscribe. I'm excited about the Skyline, potentially maybe driving it a little bit before we pull it all apart. But we obviously need to get the S15 finished first, and that is very, very close. It's right there. So anyways, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Ciao, mata.